welcome back to your online class, and I hope all of you are following all the safety measures to protect yourself from this COVID-19 virus. And first of all, I would like to apologize to you people for the lack of clarity. And the reason is that I'm lacking all the necessary equipments to make a professional video. Even my phone is out of order, and I'm having to record all the videos on a below average camera. Following this particular reason, I'm not able to present my videos with that utmost clarity. I hope all of you understand my problem and please do cooperate with me. Thank you. Discussing about reporting interrogative syntax. Okay. Now before I begin, I would like to ask you what is an interrogative syntax. Now interrogatory sentences are those sentences that asks a question. Okay. It begins with a verb and ends with a question mark. Usually we will be considering two types of interrogative sentences. That is one belonging to the WH type and the other that includes an auxiliary verb. Okay. Now considering examples from WH family could include what is your name, why are you late, and considering examples of interrogative sentences that includes an auxiliary verb could be, can you go there? Are you listening to me? Okay, so let's begin. Please make note of this table. We'll be discussing about this concept in three different phases. Pay attention over here. Okay, we've already discussed about assertive sentences. Now in assertive sentences your said to changes to told and your comma gets replaced by that. But please note the changes over here in case of interrogative. In case of interrogative, your said to will change to asked. Okay, said to changes to asked and your comma is replaced by WH or if, which means, okay, the same WH type word included in the interrogative sentence, or maybe if or whether. Okay, and the game would be all about changing an interrogative sentence to an assertive sentence. That is, changing a statement ending with a question mark to a statement ending with a full stop. Is that clear? So let's begin. First phase. Okay, now the first question is, are you going? Are you going? Changes to you are going. Have you seen? Changes to you've seen. Will you go to the gym? Changes to you will go to the gym. Do you know? Changes to you know. Does she know? She knows. Did he see? Past tense. He saw. So this is the way we change a question into a statement sentence, that is changing interrogative into an assertive sentence. So all of you practice similar types of questions back at home also. Okay, please practice changing question form into assertive form. If you are very clear about the first step was all about changing interrogative to assertive. Okay, so now we're moving on to the second step or the second phase where we will be learning about the important changes, okay, that is to be made relating to your inverted commas and the reporting verb. Is that clear? Okay, now the second step states that you have to, when your question, okay, I have already told you an interrogative begins with a verb and ends with a question mark. Okay, that is when a question begins with an auxiliary verb, that is maybe is, am, are, do, has, will, can, etc. Okay, in this case you have to change the inverted commas to if or whether. That is, my inverted commas will be replaced by if or whether, and my reporting verb says to or said to will change to asks or asked according to the tense. Says to, present tense will change to asks. Said to, past tense will change to asked. What is to be done when my interrogative sentence begins with an auxiliary verb? Okay, so let's consider a few examples to impart a better understanding relating this concept. Okay, let's move ahead. The first example states that Heron says to me, "Do you know me?" Now, for obvious, it is a question that begins with an auxiliary verb. So now I have to replace my inverted commas by if, and says to will get replaced to asks. So now Heron asks me if I know him. Okay, interrogative form changes to assertive form. The very first step, if you remember the game that I asked you to play. Okay, now second person changes according to the object, and first person me changes according to the subject. Okay, that is by application of the SON formula. If you remember the SON chart that I had given you in my previous video. So now Rahul says to his friend, "Have you any money to spare?" So says to again will get replaced by asks. Since my question over here begins with an auxiliary verb, so now my inverted commas will get replaced by if, and says to will change to asks. Now Rahul asks his friend if he has any money to spare. Okay, now second person you will change according to the object. Okay, and my interrogative form changes to an assertive form, that is I have changed into an assertive form and it ends with a full stop. Okay, now Ruchi said to Riya, "Are you coming today?" Now my reporting verb is in past tense. So the tense of the sentence over here, the interrogative sentence, will change for obvious. Now my present tense will change to past tense. In the above two cases, there was no change in tense of the interrogative sentence since my reporting verb was in present tense. But over here, since my reporting verb is in past tense, there will be a change in tense of the interrogative sentence. That is, said to will get replaced by asked according to the second rule. Okay, Ruchi asked Riya. Now my inverted commas will be replaced by if, since my question begins with an auxiliary verb. So now Ruchi asked Riya if she was going that day. Today will change to that day, that is according to the chart that I have already given you. Okay, now next, Sumi said to Kavita, "Will you buy this?" Okay, future tense will or shall, okay, will change to would or should if my reporting verb is in past tense, and over here my reporting verb is in past tense. So now Sumi asked Kavita if she would buy that. This will change to that according to the chart. Now the most important thing that you have to do over here is you have to be thorough with all the charts that I have already had given you in my previous videos, and you have to be thorough with all the charts to establish a better understanding about this concept. Is that clear? So now let's move on to the third phase. Let's see what's ahead. Now in rule 3 we'll be considering the WH family, that is the questions that begin with who, what, how, where, etc. Okay, and ends with a question mark. So now let's see what are the changes that you have to make while reporting a question that begins with WH. Okay, let's begin. Now whenever you find a question that begins with WH and ends with a question mark, then what you have to do is you have to replace your inverted commas by the same WH word with which the question begins. Okay, with the same WH verb with which the question begins. Okay, and for obvious your says to or say to will change to asks or asked. Now let's consider certain examples. Okay, Niti says to Rishi, who are you? Now over here first you have to see the type of the question. Now my question belongs to WH family, so it is for obvious I have to replace my inverted commas by the same WH verb or word with which my question begins. Okay, so Niti says to will change to asks. Niti asks Rishi, inverted commas replaced by the same WH word. Niti asks Rishi who he is. Okay, according to rule 1 I have to change my interrogative form to assertive form. Now next, a man says to me, where do you come from? Now it is for obvious says to will be replaced by asks. Now no change in the tense since my reporting verb is in present tense. Then my inverted commas will be replaced by the same WH word with which the question begins, that is where. Okay, and I have to change the interrogative form to assertive form applying the SON formula. Okay, a man asks says to will get reduced to asks. A man asks me, inverted commas will be replaced by where. A man asks me where I come from. Interrogative form gets reduced to assertive form and ends with a full stop. Okay, now next let's consider certain examples when my reporting verb is in past tense. Okay, I said to him, how will you drive the car today? So I asked him how he would drive the car that day. Now today will change to that day. Then my question, which is an interrogative form, gets reduced to assertive form, and said to gets reduced to asked, as I've already told you, and my inverted commas will be replaced by the same WH word with which the question begins. So now I asked him how he would drive the car that day. Again, he said to me, why don't you speak English? Said to will get reduced to asked. My inverted commas will be replaced by the same WH word with which the question begins, that is why. Okay, he asked me why I didn't speak English. Okay, then with application of the SON formula, my interrogative form gets reduced to assertive form and ends with a full stop. So now he asked me why I didn't speak English. Okay, by now I hope all of you have understood that how do we report interrogatory sentences. And please, make note of all the charts that I had given you in the previous videos relating the conversion of tenses, pronouns, time and place. Okay, please make note of all these. And take care of yourself, protect yourself from COVID-19. Bye, take care. See you in the next video.